Hi, I'm Catherine and welcome to Team F4N's project. F4N stands for Favour for a Neighbour, which is our cross-platform mobile app designed to make it easy for neighbours to help each other with specific jobs or household tasks and for skills to be shared across communities. Our app also allows users to raise money for a charity of their choice whenever they help out someone in their area. F4N was inspired by an increased sense of community spirit that a lot of us have felt during the recent months in lockdown. For example, a number of us have joined neighbourhood WhatsApp groups for the first time and have got to know our neighbours much better. We've also seen an increase in neighbours helping each other out by, for example, doing shopping for those that are isolating. At the same time, lockdown has also highlighted that a number of people live in quite serious isolation, so we thought it would be great to design an app that can build on this increased sense of community and help improve the lives of people who could sometimes do with an extra helping hand from someone nearby. We began our project by a simple brainstorming session where we talked about what features we would like to see on the app, and we used Xmind to build a mind map. We considered the perspectives of both the user posting a job and of those users volunteering to help, and we ensured we built out detailed user stories. We also established a clear, minimum viable product to work towards and ensured that we focused on hitting that MVP in the initial few days of our project. I will now introduce Seb, who will demonstrate Favour for a Neighbour.
Thanks, Catherine. Hi, I'm Seb. I'm going to walk us through the app. Firstly, what we want to do is sign in. Once you've signed in, uploaded an image. You don't have to upload an image at this point. If you don't, you'll just be left with an avatar. We'll then go to post a new help request. Once we've filled out the help request form, location where we are and the pledge amount, and uploaded an image, we will then go to review the help request and then change the image if need be. I didn't like the image that I used for this demo, so I changed that. Once you're happy with the job, you can then log out and wait for user 2 to come and help.
I'll now demonstrate our app from the viewpoint of a user wishing to offer help. I'm able to view a list of requests and filter them down to requests in my local area. I can then select a job that looks right for me and get a more detailed view of what is required. Since I think this job is right for me, I can leave a comment. If needed, I could also ask further questions about the job. I'll then click the Offer Help button to generate a notification to the user who requested help, letting them know I'm happy to be of service.
Now James has offered to help, I will log in and view my notifications. As you can see, there's a notification showing James has offered to help. I will now go to the help request and approve which helper I want. Once the helper has been approved and the job has been completed, I can mark the job as done, and the job is then removed from the list and archived in the database. Thank you all for watching. I will now go on to talk about the front-end tech choices. For our front-end tech stack, we use React Native Elements, Expo, and Axios. As a group, we naturally gravitated towards creating a mobile app. React Native seemed like the perfect choice as it built upon pre-existing knowledge of React. We found React Native fun, but it was a challenge to get our head around at first. Another thing we was keen to do with this project was to learn React hooks in place of class components. We used Expo to handle a lot of our issues around cross-compatibility with emulators, as our team had a mix of Mac and Linux users. It also provided a quick method to get our project up and running. React Native Elements is a UI toolkit that gave us access to pre-built components. This allowed us to swiftly implement new functionality pretty much straight out the box. Finally, we used Axios for all our API requests. With wide support and great documentation, this was just an easy choice. Moving on to James for the Backend Tech stack.
Our Backend Tech stack consists of Express, Postgres, Neighbour, and Firebase. We used Express to create our REST APIs, as we wanted to quickly have endpoints up and running to avoid any impediment for the front-end team. As we were familiar with Express from the course, this allowed us to rapidly deploy front-end and make changes quickly as and when they were needed. Building on our strength and love of Express proved invaluable to keep the back-end nimble. For data storage, we used Postgres, as our data was highly relational. This allowed for data normalization, removing redundant data and improving data integrity. As we were most familiar with JavaScript, we decided to use Knex.js to construct our database queries. This had the added bonus of having integrated migration and seeded functionality. This was extremely useful, as it allowed us to reseed our database each morning, removing the test data we added during development the day before. We used Firebase, Google's mobile web application platform, for authentication and image storage. Firebase provides an easy-to-use interface for account management and React APIs for simple integration into our front end. We were then able to use Firebase Admin SDK to authenticate requests to Express. Firebase Cloud Storage was used to store our job pictures and user avatars. We hosted our backend on Heroku, as it allowed for quick deployments using our source control software Git. I now pass you over to Rob.
Aside from one or two small headaches, such as the morning where we accidentally Git merged our development branches in the wrong direction, by far our greatest challenge was getting to grips with two new technologies, React Native and Firebase. Rather than all four of the team focusing on both, we made the decision to split our capacity to make the best use of our combined development time. Once the essential database structure was operational, one person from the back-end and one from the front-end sub-teams switched their attention to Firebase. This allowed for a team member with experience of React Native to provide input into the implementation of Firebase and avoid any conflicting code. Building on the team's existing knowledge of React meant that understanding of the documentation available for React Native was, on the whole, straightforward, and any difficulties were easily overcome. Whilst there is a wide array of component libraries available for React Native, such as for adding drop-down menus and inserting images, etc., we encountered difficulties when it came to styling them to fit our chosen theme. Where possible, we stuck to using React Native core components, as these proved easier to integrate. Alongside a great team spirit, we knew that good communication would be essential, and remote working could have slowed us down. The text and voice chat functionality provided by Discord proved invaluable and was used continuously over the 2 weeks. We held morning stand-ups for everyone to discuss their progress and highlight any concerns, and throughout we made use of the web-based capabilities of Trello to visualize and manage our workflows, ensuring that critical aspects of the project were completed on time. The live share extension for VS Code made it quick and painless to work in pairs, although the live server extension proved too much of a strain on the internet connection for one of us, resulting in an urgent visit from the nearest BT engineer. Finally, we'd like to mention one or two features we'd look to include if the project were to be taken forward.
So we're all really pleased with our app, and we've worked well as a team over the past few weeks to build a great product. But we're not finished yet, and we've got lots of other ideas for future features that we'd like to add to make the app even better. For example, we've discussed that it would be great to add some payment integration into the app to allow for the charitable payment to be made direct within the app, rather than having to go via an external Just Giving link. We would also like to add a chat feature to allow users to message each other within the app privately and securely. We've also discussed adding a feature to allow a job to be shared on Facebook. And one more potential change would be to consolidate our backend into Firebase and take advantage of Firebase's backend offering. This would allow us to simplify our backend and give us a single point of administration. So there's lots more exciting features we would like to add to Favour for a Neighbour. In the meantime, we hope you've enjoyed learning about our app and enjoyed watching the presentation. We welcome any questions. Thanks.